Woke progressives have now criminalized self-defense. And because of that, an innocent shopkeeper could spend the rest of his life in the Gray Bar Hotel. It happened in New York City, of course, and watch this graphic video. After a dispute with a woman over a bag of chips, her boyfriend, an ex-con with a very long rap sheet on parole for assaulting a cop, goes behind the counter and attacks the cashier. The cashier fights back, reportedly grabbing a knife used for opening boxes because he'd already been stabbed in the shoulder by the guy's girlfriend, and he stabs the assailant in the neck. He killed the guy in the white shirt. Self-defense, clear as day. It's all on video. You can see it right here. But because we are now living under the tyrannical thumb of radical progressives, especially the DAs, the shopkeeper is now the one in jail. And it only gets worse. New York City's jackass district attorney. Isn't there a jackass district attorney in every major city? His name is Bragg. He has charged the shop owner with second-degree murder, and he asked bail to be set at $500,000. A judge today, thank God, cut that down to $50,000. But either way, it's a lot for the innocent guy who does not have a criminal record. And earlier today, reporters asked Mayor Adams to explain this travesty of justice. Watch.
I'm not going to second guess the district attorney for his actions. With that said, my heart goes out for that hard-working, honest New Yorker that was doing his job in his place of business, where a person came in and went behind the counter and attacked him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That is second-guessing the district attorney, which is what the mayor should be doing. He should grow some nards and say that's what he's doing. New Yorkers understandably furious. After 2 years of crime and decline, the message is loud and clear. The criminals have the key to the city. The DA, he is on their side. Law-abiding citizens can no longer fight back because they might be the ones who get locked up. How is this justice? Well, let's get into it with tonight's illustrious Los Angeles party panel. We have co-host of the Gary and Shannon Show on KFI AM 640 Los Angeles right here. It is Gary Hoffman, liberty activist with the Foundation for Economic Education, Olivia Rondeau, and rounding out the panel, Democrat strategist, radio host, and Fox News contributor, Leslie Marshall. Great to see you all. How exciting and wonderful. So, Gary, is this the kind of thing that undoes a DA's career? How big of a deal is this in terms of what we've seen in big cities where criminals are let loose to go out and kill people?
You could answer that question with 2 words, and that's Chesapeake. I mean, this is exactly the kind of situation that the former district attorney in San Francisco found himself in, where he's deciding that these policies are for a better world, a better America, a unicorn land powered by ferries and other exhaust fumes. But the realization when the defecation hits the oscillation is that those policies actually make things worse. And here in Los Angeles, obviously, George Gascon is the district attorney who is likely going to be recalled in a couple of months.
We're going to talk about him in just a little bit, because that is just one of the many cities where, these progressive DAs, they let people out. And here it's not just letting someone out, because we see that over and over again. Here you have an innocent person defending his shop, defending his life, who had already been stabbed, and now he's in Rikers. Like, that is, it's the same DA, the same mentality, but now punishing someone who's innocent. So how are they trying to undo self-defense, which used to be pretty sacred?
I mean, this just kind of all goes back to what we talk about frequently, which is the kind of desecration of the Second Amendment. And by doing that, the government in New York City and Eric Adams are also attacking self-defense. And might I point out that the girlfriend who stabbed the shop owner was not charged. So I find that to be pretty ridiculous, too, that the innocent shopkeeper who was acting in self-defense got stabbed, and the person who actually stabbed him, the girlfriend,
but let's think about that for a second. Like, you're in the process of getting stabbed. You're already in the process of being attacked. So, like, two things are happening at once. Obviously, in your mind, you are like, I am going to be killed. It's him or me. I'm going to pay with my life for this, and that's when you act in self-defense. It wasn't premeditated. He didn't go out from behind the counter and attack the guy.
Right.
You know,
Not only was
in
it
his
property,
estimation,
it was his life. So he had two reasons to, you know, enact in self-defense. So this is just ridiculous. And the fact that Eric Adams is supposedly the voice of reason here, saying, "Well, my heart goes out to this hardworking New Yorker," then do something about it. Then clearly he has to second guess the DA.
Yes, or at least Kathy Hochul should. But it doesn't matter how it starts. Like, I know this was a skirmish over a bag of chips, and there was a kid who had a bag of chips, and, you know, for whatever reason, the card was declined, and there were words, and so the girlfriend goes back and gets the boyfriend, who's a convicted felon, and then he's the one he crosses the line. It's one thing to admonish someone, it's very much another thing to lay your hands on them and assault them.
Before I saw the video, I thought, he touched the kid? Wait a minute, you touched my kid, dude, you know, I don't know. But then when you see the video, it's clearly self-defense. But here's my thing. Let's take this on a bigger scale. I, as a liberal, I find that we're constantly attacked for not being tough enough on crime. Now this guy's being attacked for being, you know, too tough on crime.
He's not being tough on crime. That's the thing. He's not being tough on crime. If he were tough on crime, then the woman who stabbed him, if he were tough on crime, she would be in Rikers. But it's the person who is acting in self-defense. That is not a criminal act. So he's punishing the victim.
No, like
so that's the upside-down world of progressivism.
I feel is a clear. I mean, when you watch the video, to me, it doesn't come down to politics at all. It comes down to common sense. You can see it's self-defense. You heard the mayor of New York say that. I'm just saying, as a liberal, I find whenever there are decisions that are made regarding prosecuting or not, whether it's you're indicting or not, whether you're incarcerating or not, it seems to be when a liberal makes that call, they can't do right either way. That's what I'm saying. It's I don't think this is a situation, but I do think it's, I don't want to say amusing, but I think it's ironic that somebody's yelling that a liberal's locking somebody up when all I hear, like in Gascon,
no, but it's
liberals not locking anybody.
It's having priorities that are completely upside down. It's not going after the people who have no respect for the rule of law, who are making the world less safe. It's going after the people who are victimized by those people. So that's the issue that I have with progressivism. It's not that, yes, we have a problem with over-incarceration in this country, but there has to be a balance here.
This guy is out on parole for assaulting a cop. So the New York City DA is like, well, you can assault a cop, but if a shopkeeper defends his business and his life, throw him away. Throw him in the slammer.
In the middle of getting stabbed.
And is it possible that defending yourself against an assault like that is rooted in white supremacy? Even though this guy was a Dominican immigrant.
Yeah, exactly. Finally became a citizen after 15 years in the country.
But
the police report also said that he was defending himself. So that to me was odd. And then when I saw the video,
so what the hell is Alvin Bragg doing?
I don't know. There are going to be people that you realize, though, that if he hadn't arrested this man, there are going to be people out there that would be angry as well watching the video.
You know what those people are? No. People would be mad that the shopkeeper didn't get arrested? Not a chance. New York is up in arms just like they are here in California. Another crazy progressive DA is in hot water. We've been flirting with his name this entire segment. Hopefully soon he will be out of a job. LA DA George Gascon. He's now almost certain to face recall. His critics have submitted over 700,000 signatures. That's nearly 200,000 more than they needed. Gascon, like Alvin Bragg in Manhattan and the recently recalled San Francisco former DA, as Gary pointed out, Chesa Boudin, they've all come under fire for their soft on-crime policies. And the stats don't lie. Since Gascon took office, shootings are up almost 55%. Leading to an increase in homicides, 29%, and robbery. Oh, it's only up 17%. That's fun. LA's deputy DA says the recall effort has nothing to do with politics and only public safety watch. So are some of these cities waking up to their own failures? It's one of the things I love about California, Gary, is the recall mechanism. And George Gascon's like, this is just putting your thumb in the eye of the democratic process. This is purely politics. Is it just politics?
No. And one of the other things that Gascon will point out, in his mind, this is a Republican-driven recall campaign. John Hatami's a great example. John McKinney, Eric Siddall, Michelle Hannessy, all of these deputy DAs that work for this guy will tell you this is not a political thing. This is not driven by Republicans. This cuts across all political divisions. This cuts across all neighborhoods in LA County. Half of the cities have voted no confidence in the district attorney to do his job. Half of the cities. Now, LA is a pretty liberal area, and the suggestion that maybe half of the cities are Republican-driven city councils that would vote like this, it's absolute insanity. Every one of those people that John Hatami talks about in terms of the people that he prosecutes and the families of the victims that he sticks up for, they are the ones who are driving this recall campaign. There are people out there who have lost the loved ones to people let out of prison because of George Gascon's policies. You mentioned the 200,000 more than is necessary in terms of the number of signatures they turned in. Almost all of those extra signatures came in after 2 El Monte police officers lost their lives to a guy who was out on parole who should not have been, who should have been in jail for a very long time. But because of the policies that George Gascon, he even had the audacity to say that this guy, convicted felon already, when he was caught with a gun, does not portend violence in his future. He actually said that if I got caught with a gun driving home today, I would be put in jail for a long time.
Well, your rap sheet is longer than the CVS receipt.
It's as long as my own leg.
That's, you know what? The pants hide the deformity. It's very impressive. So, do you think the recall is going to be successful? And if you have the 2 DAs from the 2 biggest cities in California, what message does that send to not only the rest of the state, but other states and other cities who have the same kind of problems?
One, yes, I do think it's going to be successful. I can't go grocery shopping without being bombarded outside of the Ralphs with like a guy with a clipboard saying, "Can we recall this guy?" And there's a line of people signing the petition. Like, I've seen it in real life be successful. Number 2, I basically just moved here like a month ago. My boyfriend's a criminal defense lawyer. I've heard a lot of the crazy cases that he has to deal with, and it's no joke. I mean, living here feels like it's kind of like Gotham City at this point. It's a little bit scary. I'm all for the recall. And the message that will send is that even Democrats, moderates, and independents are rejecting this progressive, kind of far left, easy on crime policies and messaging. I mean, this is what happens when you basically govern a city on diversity and inclusion instead of law and order, in my opinion.
All right, so you are a Democrat.
Yep.
Are your fellow Democrats fed up with a sense of lawlessness and lack of safety that we once took for granted as Californians?
Yes. I mean, I'm one of the people that supports the recall. I'm a Democrat. But, you know, not every Democrat like myself is a, far left-leaning progressive. There are many like myself that are moderates, we're centrist, and we have common sense. And there are just some common sense policies in law. I'm very conservative when it comes to crime, and so are a lot of my fellow Democrats. And what Gascon has done, to your point, is, taken this out of the political arena and, to me, just put it in the arena of common sense. However, there were petitions going around the day after he was elected and hadn't yet done anything from Republicans. So it started with the political motivation and common sense took over.
But maybe it's not just political motivation. Maybe they had the foresight because they want to save their city before it goes swirling down the toilet. It's like hats off to them. They have the right to do that. And I love that you're so conservative, Leslie.
I'm not. Don't say it. Come on.
I know that you were cheering when Roe v. Wade was overturned.
For me now.
I thought that was so odd. You're like, end abortion now. And I'm like, Leslie.
I never said that. When did I
so
say
weird.
You guys are smoking crack because I never said that.
Well, yes, Leslie would throw us in the hotel, in the jail, in the Hooskow forever for smoking crack.
Oh,
used to be.
No.
In the good old days.
No.
It's like we replaced our Senka with that. Much more with the panel. They're going to stick around. It is game night. Right, place your bets. It's time for over-under. It's the game of numeration, estimation, calibration, and calculation right here on the very best show in the nation. We're going to ask our panel a series of over-under trivia questions about money, pop culture, science, and history. Whoever gets the most right wins a job in the Kennedalia Casino, where you'll be overworked, underpaid, and covered in booze and fluids. Gary, Olivia, Leslie, are you all ready?
Booze and fluids, you had to get that. Yeah.
Here we go. All right, here's question number 1. If it's over, you think it's over, give me a thumbs up. If you think it's under, give me a thumbs down. What percentage of all American workers are employed by the U.S. federal government? Is it over or under 5%? Gary says it's under. You were right, ladies. It's over. Did you see the questions? No. Okay, good. You promise? Okay. Olivia, you and Lassa got that right. Gara got it wrong. How many question number 2. How many number 1 hits do the Spice Girls have? Is it over or under 8 hits?
Oh, goodness.
If you want to be my lover, you've got to get with my friends. It's actually over. 9 number 1 hits. 9 number 1 hits.
In what year?
9 number 1 hits. The year before you were born.
Probably.
So 2013.
Okay.
9. Here's question number 3. What is the average female height? Is it over or under 5'5"?
In America?
In America. Okay, Leslie, you and Olivia say under. Gary says over. Gary's wrong again. You guys are right. It's 5'4".
This game is rigged.
The
These games
average-
are all rigged
Not
against
rigged.
me.
5'6".
I'll get out on 5'2". I'm part of the
You
majority.
are? Oh, you're team phone. That's adorable. All right, here we go. Question number 4. You guys are doing great. Don't worry, Gary. You can get back in this thing any second.
All right.
What is the cost of the most expensive Gulfstream jet? The G700. Is it over or under 82 million?
That's way high. That's too high.
And Gary got it right. Gary's on the board. It's under. It's 75 million.
He's obviously the
That would've
only
been
one on the panel
embarrassing.
buying.
75.
Oh, yeah.
Gary has 4 of them. He's got a hangar at Santa Monica Airport.
Wow.
He and Harrison Ford, they
Well, I have
crash
4
those
at
things.
Santa Monica. I have 2 at Van Nuys.
That's right. You got to spread it out,
Yeah.
man. Here we go. Question number 5. Oh, by the way, Olivia, you and Leslie are tied with 2. Gary has 1. Gary, you can catch up with this one, or they can just cream you. How many brands like Tide, Pampers, or Gillette does Procter & Gamble own? Is it over or under 70? How many brands? Over or under
Brands.
70?
Over.
Procter & Gamble.
Yeah, it's got to be over.
Okay, everyone says thumbs up, Buttercup. They're wrong. It's 65 brands.
Like I said,
Only
this stupid
It was
game.
peer pressure.
Every time we play,
Thumbs up. And
Gary, you're still only 1 behind the ladies. And we know that women are bad drivers and they're bad at trivia, so.
oh great.
I'm just kidding. That's a joke, that's me. Except the driving part. Okay, here's question number 6. How many times bigger is the landmass of Russia compared to the landmass of Germany? Is it over or under 40 times bigger? Think of Russia, think of Germany. 40 times, over or
It's
under?
got to be. I think it's over that.
Everyone
Slightly
says
over, right?
over. They're absolutely right. You guys have 3. You have 2.
Catching
it's
up.
44 times bigger.
Okay.
Watch this. It's throwing caution to the wind. I need to give a crap. Here's question number 7. We are playing over under here. According to the U.S. Department of Education, what percentage of American adults ages 60 to 74 can't read at a 6th grade level? Is it over or under 20%?
I'm hoping.
I hope I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're right, Olivia. Everyone's
Never mind, I'm glad I'm right.
54% of adults aged 16 to 74 can't read at a 6th grade level.
That's kind
Now
of
do
sad.
cursive.
That's kind of sad.
okay.
Yeah, now I wouldn't be able to read it.
Pretty sad.
All right, question number 8. How much did it cost to make the movie Shrek? Was it over or under $80 million?
What?
Shrek.
The original.
It doesn't say, it just says Shrek.
To make
it doesn't
it,
say
how much
Shrek
did it
2,
make?
Electric Boogaloo,
I would say
make
or
it
under.
Shrek 3, Back in the
It
Habit.
was a masterpiece, though.
Okay, so you all say under?
Under.
Okay, and you are right. Olivia's still ahead with 5. You have 4. Gary, you have 3. Let's see how many more questions we can get in. Question number 9. How much does the heaviest tuna ever caught weigh? Is it over or under 1,785 pounds? Biggest tuna ever caught. You say under. You say over. You say over. Gary, you're tied with Leslie. It's under 1,496 pounds.
Come from behind.
So
Here we
you
go.
are only up by 1, madam. Hey, judges, how much time do we have left in the game? Do we have time? 2 questions? Okay, let's do 2 more questions. Question number 10. How long is the current longest nonstop commercial flight? Is it over or under 20 hours?
I'm going to say over.
Commercial flight.
Everyone says over. Everyone's wrong. It's under. It's 17 hours, 50 minutes.
Okay.
Is it still LA to Sydney? Judges? No one knows. Okay, question number 11. This one is worth 2 points. This one is worth 2 points. Anyone can win this. Any one of you. Question number 11. Decides the game. One of you is working at the Canadalia Casino.
Now here.
How many variations of shampoo are currently for sale on the Axe website. Is it over or under 14 variations?
Who?
Probably more.
Over. Wait, I'm going to say under because that's the only way I can win.
And you won, Gary Hoffman! You did it! Gary Hoffman is a winner with 6 points.
Oh, my
It was under,
goodness.
they only have 7 kinds of shampoo for 6 points.
for men.
When are we
Right?
ever going to go on the Axe website? I've
Actually,
never gone on the Axe website.
I think you could ask every teenage girl. Axe is for the ladies.
No, it isn't. My standard is not for the-
Congratulations, Gary. Can't
Thank
wait to
you.
see
It's
you in the
about
casino.
time.
I hope you wear a
bodily
little
fluids.
vest and the little thing around your arm, the garter.
I thought I was going to be the cocktail waiter.
Yeah, you will.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
with your little short shorts
Yes,
and
ma'am.
a tray full of Coke Zeros with a little something, something inside. Beth, thank you all so much. Leslie, Olivia, Gary, great to see you one and
Thank
all.
you.
What a night.